doing good. Let me tell you something. Working is, man, working takes a lot out of you, you know? I understand you gotta work, put food on the table, make sure you're straight, all that stuff. I get that, you know? But sometimes when you work at a place long enough, it just it just makes you feel irritable. Everything is annoying to you, even people, you know? Been at my job for 5 years, and when I first started, things were okay, but now it's just gotten progressively worse, and I'm like, damn, all I want is peace. Can't seem to find it. But you know, what can you do? Anyway, I just wanted to spend some time with y'all for a little bit. You know what I mean? Just came out of work, so I'm glad that the day is over. I made it through. We all got to push through and do things that we don't want to do in life in order to just get the things that we want. So we got to maintain. Maintaining is all that we got to do. You just got to learn how to maintain each and every day. I know sometimes it feels stressful. You feel like no one's hearing you, and you're tired. You're exhausted, Honestly, right now, I'd rather be at home working on music. I'd rather be editing videos all day. That's what I want to do. But until that time comes, I'm working. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, call it 11 years ago, I graduated from college. Right? The week after college, I went on my first interview. You know what the job ended up being? Miracle. And it was at the New York Hotel in Manhattan. And I bounced from there, and I was like, I'm not doing this. Y'all want me to give you $100 for training? Get out of here. So I kept on filling out applications. Right? I've been filling out applications since before I started my second year of college. When I graduated, somebody tried to put me on to Primerica, the job, and I was out. Then in July 2013, still trying to find work, right? At this point, I'm 2 years in working as a drummer at a local church, right? And everything's going good until the church starts going through some financial trouble. But in July 2013, I get invited to another job. You know what it ended up being? Primerica again. So, anyway, everything's going good. I have my little money or whatever. I'm not making much. I'm making at most $25 a week as a drummer. But I was still able to buy my own food, because back then I didn't really cook food. I'd go out, I'd buy something from the store, and that's how I ate and survived, unless there was food in the crib. Most of the times there was food in the crib. But anyway, I went and I did that, and by October of 2013, things started happening. Remember one day, I went into the church, and I saw that all, like, the food pantry in the basement was now all up in the sanctuary. We're talking about rice, potatoes, carrots, all that, right? Because the landlady that owned the place said that it was illegal for them to have a food pantry in the basement, which is a lie, right? Because they already had the go-ahead to create a food pantry. They already got their permission. And then there was another Sunday where I came in, and I noticed that there was a wall that was plastered, right? And I'm like, why is this wall plastered? What happened was that the landlady didn't want anybody in the church, including the pastor, to use the bathroom. So she had somebody come in, put up sheetrock over that wall so that the bathroom couldn't be used. Imagine how dumb is that? How stupid that is. You got people that need to use the bathroom, And because you want to drive these individuals out, you're doing stupid stuff like that. So that happened, and then by November 2013, the church closed. And I remember the pastor, she had services at her house, and she was like, listen, don't worry, we're gonna open back up in the future. I'll let you know. I got paid for 2 Sundays, and that was it. November 2013 was the last time that I played for that church. So within a span of that time, we're talking 8 months here, right? Within the span of that time, the church ended up closing, right? Within the span of that time, I had to try to find work. And I had nothing. I had literally probably $2 in my bank account. And in between that time, I'm doing different things, you know what I mean? I'm just going to church, like, and then I'm going to open mics. Then I went to go see Steve Wilkos in February of 2014. So it was crazy. July 2014, I get interviewed at this next church to become a drummer. First thing the lady asks me is, are you saved? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And guess where the church is located? In the exact same building. But check this out, right? So I'm in there, I'm chilling, and the next thing you know, right, I'm in there for like 2 months, from July to August. Before the month is up, the pastor tells me, yeah, we're having issues with this landlady. She doesn't want us to be in here. So about September, I think I was out, and that was it, right? So the next time that I got a job, that I actually got an actual job, was actually, no, let me continue the story. So that happens, right? So remember, 8 months of me not having no work. Then I finally get it. Then by September, things shut down. By this time, I'm still looking for work. I'm still looking for a regular 9-to-5 job. And my friend puts me on and you know, he lets me know that his old boss is looking for employees. So I go, I do the interview, ends up being his pharmacy. I go take the drug test, I pass it, everything's good. And this is months later. This happened in September. So by late March of 2015, I ended up getting a job. My first job. The job was hell. The manager, he was like a year older than me, and he just treated me like trash. You know, by September 2015, he ended up leaving because he gave the store a green light. He had one pharmacy, and then 3 other pharmacies he had that he would manage. But he gave our store a green light because he was that good of a manager to the customers and the people that lived in that area. This is all in Manhattan, right? So in between all of that happening, May 2015, I get a call from my friend. And he's like, yo, there's this Sunday church that I play at, and I need a drummer. And I tell him, all right, cool, but I'm only available every second and fourth Sunday. So I ended up going to that church, you know, and I played that first day. Like back then, the music was different at the church. Like everything was a little bit more somber. But I ended up playing, right? So I was doing that, and then the Sunday church, the other Sunday church I was playing at, opened back up. I get a call from that pastor, and she's like, yo, we're back open again. You know, we're on Farmers Boulevard now. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I go over there. I start playing June of 2015. So now I got 2 churches. But before I forget, I left out a little bit. I left out a little something, right? Okay, so in between me getting let go from the first church that I played at, what happened was that I was playing at another church also. This one was on Saturday, and I was playing for about 4 months until one day they said, the musician said to me like, yo, they said they're not going to pay you anymore. So I didn't get paid, and that lasted for 4 months. That was from May to September 2013. So I had 2 churches. I was fine. I was getting paid 50 there, getting paid 25 at the other church. Then that church was like, yo, we're not paying you because you're not a member here. I was like, all right, no problem. Then a month later, this church closes up. and then I'm without a gig for 8 months until I get that other Sunday church. Then that church closes up. Then I come back a year later, June of 2015. But then 2 months later, that church closes up again because there's no room for me. So I continue playing at the third Sunday church. So at this point, I had already played for 3 Sunday churches. One church I played for from 2011 to 2013. The next church I played from 2013 to 2022. And I'm going to explain that story in itself. All right, so that happened, right? So I had that gig. So the Sunday church, that church closed up. But the third Sunday church I was playing at, I've been in that gig for so long. I've been there now for a total of 8 years. That's the longest gig that I've ever had as a drummer, right? And the first job that I had, where I was working at a pharmacy, I ended up leaving that job 2 years later. Like around almost the same time that I got hired. I got hired March, towards the end of March of 2015. I ended up leaving early April 2017, and I left that job. And for like 4 months, I was without any type of job. The drumming gig was the only thing that sustained me, so I thank God for that. You know, and the current job that I'm at, I've been here now for 5 years. So that's literally been my journey. Like, I've been doing drumming gigs since 2011. So that's a total of that's a total of 10, 12 years. And then, I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. It's been a long day. And then the job, working jobs, I've been doing that for a total of 8 years. So I've been putting in the grind, you know. But sometimes I feel like my life is meant to be more, and I say that because, you know, I graduated 2012 with a degree in audio engineering, and I never put it to use. I had planned to go back to school. I never did that. Like, literally, 11 years passed me by like it was nothing. And I'm like, yo, what am I doing? You know, like during the pandemic, funny thing though, I always had a job. My job was essential, so I never lost my job during the pandemic. But I was able to make money twice as a producer. This guy recognized me on IG and was like, yo, I want you to produce some beats for me. I was like, all right, cool. No problem, man. I got you. Made him a stack of beats. Got paid for that. Then I made another stack. You know, so God's been good to me. But the whole point of my video is to say this. You know, if you have gifts, use them. My drumming gig led me to 2 other gigs. And although one of those gigs didn't last long, the other one I still have and I'm still doing. So I thank God for that. Everything is a blessing. All right, but y'all have a great night. Peace.